Whenever we go to a place, whether it's in this case a Dharma center, or we go to someone's house, or someone invites us for dinner, or we get together on a picnic, or we do anything with anyone, I think we need to retrain our mind to think how kind everybody is and how much preparation has been done for all of this to happen. So let me take the example of the Dharma Center. In a Dharma Center, in our case, the place is air-conditioned, well-lit, clean, free of mosquitoes, free of insects, smells pleasant. Cushions and chairs are provided to the best. There's clean toilets. There's a beautiful altar for our eyes to see so that we may be blessed by the presence of holy beings. And also, people came in, people donated all these items, and people set up all these items. And also people came in and prepared these items before you came, and the people who prepared the items also have a family and work, and they had to take time away to prepare. So for all of us who think that we're very busy and we can't contribute or help, everybody else is the same situation. It's just what our priorities are. And at the same time, we should think how everything's been arranged and how it's been established and how the license of the center is valid and how long it took to get the license and how the committees have submitted their names to keep this place going. And also we should think, not pointing to myself, but in general, how kind the teacher is to have studied many, many years and have taken on the disciplines of the monastery and taken on the disciplines of the teacher and have guru devotion and have taken in thousands and thousands and thousands, literally thousands and thousands of hours of teachings from their gurus. The teachers took from their gurus, and perhaps hundreds and hundreds of hours of meditation and also retreats. So the teacher is very, very kind because while the rest of us are making money, having a family, having fun, getting dressed, going to parties, our teachers were actually in India or Nepal or Tibet, ordained, taking on vows that you even at this stage would not be able to take, even one or two, but your teachers have taken vows many, many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, and held on to them. And also your teachers have taken on the initiations and retreats, have taken on oral transmissions, and literally sat thousands and thousands of hours at the feet of his teachers, receiving Dharma teachings, studying, meditating, practicing. So the teacher is extremely kind because why is the teacher kind? For sitting in front of you and giving you Dharma talks? No. That is only part of the picture. The other part is all the preparation that the teacher put in before the teacher actually gave you teachings. The many, many years of preparation. So we have to think about the sacrifice, the time, the energy, and the effort that the teacher, him or herself, put in order to give you Dharma teachings. And therefore, to criticize such a teacher or to have negative thoughts of such a teacher, and if the teacher has put in so much effort, you criticize the 10, 20, 30 years of effort the teacher has put in. Therefore, when you do Dharma practice, it's very, very hard to gain attainments, we believe. Why is it very hard? Because you criticize something that's been very virtuous. If someone's making offerings or prostrations to the Dalai Lama's throne and we criticize, then when we do the same action, we will not get the result. Why? The force of the criticism is negative karma, speech negative karma. So in the future, when we talk, people won't believe us and won't listen to us. So therefore, we have to think the kindness of the teacher, the kindness of the people, the kindness of the committee, the kindness of everybody around that has been involved. Similarly, if we go to someone's house, we have to think, wow, this person actually sent out invitations, rearranged their time, bought the meal, cleaned it, prepared it, cleaned up their house, got themselves dressed, opened their doors to you, and prepared the whole evening for you. So my point is, wherever we go, instead of going in with this thinking, oh, this is good, this is not good, that's wonderful, that's not wonderful, and to have this kind of mind of critical projection, a projection that's critical all the time makes the whole situation unhappy. In fact, if we can change our viewpoint around, is to think how kind people really are, how generous people really are, how lucky I am to be able to attend a Dharma talk. Would I be able to join the monastery for 10 years, 20 years? Would I be able to study under so many teachers? Would I be able to sit for thousands of hours of Dharma teachings? Would I be able to give up my family, give up my friends, give up my country, give up my freedom, give up my job, give up my pursuit of personal happiness, even giving up the freedom to wear easygoing, clean clothes instead of heavy robes? Who will be able to do? Who in this room will be able to give up your pursuit of money, relationship, friends, your family, shave your hair, go to India, take on the vows, never pursue money again, never pursue relationships again, never pursue things that bring you self-desire content? Who can do that? And not think about money, not think about your house, not think about investments, not think about your old age, not think about yourself. And to join a monastic order such as Ganden, which I did, of 3,000 monks to follow the rules, to hold the vows. And not only on top of that, you're not left alone just to chant and meditate and pray and study. You're also asked to go abroad to teach. You're also asked to go and raise funds. Who can do that? Who can do all that and do that for the rest of their lives? Well, I've done that for the last 20 years. And I'll be doing that for the rest of my life. So when we have to think of all the sacrifice the teacher has given in order to bring you the teachings. So that when we attend the teachings, we should feel extremely privileged, very, very lucky, and show the utmost respect towards the teacher, not only as a person, but as the activities that the person has done for the last 20, 30 years. And the reason for that is when we have respect for those activities, we gain the merits and the affinity that we have success in our spiritual endeavors. When we criticize a teacher of that caliber, when we criticize a teacher of that much sacrifice and that much effort, you inadvertently bring negative karma about yourself. Inadvertently. And then if you perceive or see that your teacher has one or two faults, and you don't see the good qualities about your teacher all the time, it's very dangerous. I'll tell you why. It is not the Tibetan way of trying to make you think that your teacher is pure and holy and wonderful and is free of mistakes. No. It is a training for us to look at other people's good points. It is a training for our mind to focus on the good qualities of another person and to stop having negative projections of another person or another situation. Why? No one gives us suffering. No one has put suffering in front of us. We have created the suffering. Why have we created the suffering? Because of our view and our wrong perception of what is going on around us. Our wrong perception of a person, our wrong perception of a message, our wrong perception of communication, our wrong perception of what is going on around us, and then we react to that wrong perception. When we react to that wrong perception, more and more wrong perceptions come. For example, if we've spent a lot of time on our shirt, and it's our favorite shirt, and we really have taken care of it, and we've sent it to the cleaners, and we've dried it, and we've done everything we can to maintain it, and it's our favorite color. Another person might come to us and say, oh, you know what? That's nice, but you should wear this color and wear that type of shirt because it'll make you look much brighter. So to that person, they're very open and very sharing with their opinions, not to hurt us, but to actually share. But we might have a wrong projection because maybe when we were growing up, we had a lot of people criticize us about our clothes. We had a lot of people say negative things about our clothes, so we blow off the handle. We shout. We scream. We say, I don't want to be his friend anymore. I don't want to be near them anymore. And we take a very small situation and we blow it out of proportion and make it very big, just for something small. Why? In Malaysia, you call it miscommunication. What I like to call it is misperception. Why? Your reality is that maybe when you were very young, you were criticized about your clothes for a long, long time. You were a fashion emergency. So because you were a fashion emergency, you were criticized your whole life. And so recently you've gotten fashion conscious. So if anybody says anything about your shirt or your clothes, you're highly sensitized. Whereas to another person, it's not such a big issue. So therefore, what people say to us, what people perceive of us, is completely different of what we perceive of the same situation. Completely different. Therefore, how we react to the other person. How we act now, pay attention very carefully. This is the key. How we react to the other person is dependent on how narrow or broad our mind is. If our mind is very narrow due to lack of exposure, due to lack of study, and mostly due to lack of application of the Dharma teachings, we will be very sensitive, we will be very angersome, we will hold a grudge, we will always show a black face, we will always show ourselves not to be wrong. Always. And if we have responsibilities, if we have to do certain work, we run away. And when we run away, we think that we have escaped, but actually we open the doors for another negative situation to come even more. And we don't realize that. Most people run away from difficult situations. They escape, they run away, and they think to themselves, hey, I got away with it. I'm all right. See, I got it. I made it easy. Everything's all right now. But actually not. Actually not. If you examine carefully people who run away from difficult situations or they don't challenge and push themselves, and they can, the situations become more harder and more difficult, more harder and more difficult, more harder, eventually unable to handle. So temporarily, we escape from a situation so we don't have any sufferings. We escape from a situation so that we don't come across any difficulties. But the very fact that we escape is because we want to get away from difficulties. But in fact, we invite even more difficulties, only in grander and wider and bigger scales. So how do we deal with that? What I always say is, why is confession very strong? Because it is to verbalize what we have done. When we confess what we have done, there's no room to hide. When there's no room to hide, it doesn't fester. When it doesn't fester, it doesn't hide, it doesn't become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So keeping quiet about one's own faults is very damaging. Keeping quiet about another person's faults is patience. When we keep quiet about another person's faults, it's patience. But when we keep quiet about our own faults, it's very detrimental. On a psychological level, it's very detrimental. Psychosomatic diseases, psychosomatic problems arise from holding, hiding, and covering what we have done wrong. Psychosomatic is something that arises from the mind. Some physical ailment, some sickness, some outer difficulties that the source is not really the difficulties. The source is from the inside. Psychosomatic. So therefore, confession, talking, explaining is very, very powerful. When we do that, we heal. Psychosomatic disorders. Psychosomatic. No one has extra perception ears yet. Psychosomatic. Disorders that arise from internal but nothing actually external.
就是一种外在的一种病象，但是它是起源于内心的一个问题，内心的一个缺陷。
Psychosomatic disorders arise from hiding, covering, avoiding, and not facing one's own personal mistakes. So maybe some of us here is not confirmed about karma and Buddhas, and not confirmed about cause and effect, but we can be confirmed about psychosomatic disorders. It is scientific. That is hiding something inside, and it festers and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and wider and wider. Then after a long, long time, it's very hard for someone to escape from it. Very, very hard. And that comes from escape, running away, avoiding, not facing, and keeping quiet and hoping everybody forgets. Everybody will forget. Definitely, everybody will forget, but you won't. And it will come up again and again. And you may even change your whole set of friends, but you're going to have to change them again and again, or you have very little friends. People who have very little friends, doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they're very narrow. It just means they're very, very petty. They look at small things, they don't look at the big things. They create a lot of suffering for themselves and people around them. To understand what I'm talking about psychologically is not enough. We have to apply it. We have to apply it. Some of us have been in Dharma for 2 years. Some of us have been Dharma 3 years. Some of us have been Dharma 5 years. You have to open up your chest and say, what's the result? From the time I started Dharma till now, what's the result? Then if we say, oh, my teacher is very bad. Oh, the Dharma students around me is very bad. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'm busy. Those are not excuses. Because Dharma practice is not the half hour we sit in front of our altar practicing. Dharma practice is every day we deal with people and how we deal with people. Every single day, how we deal with people is Dharma practice. That's very, very important to know.